Hey ho, back to altered dom. So I'm going to do some more altered dom stuff real quick. So let's take, this time I want to do altered dom focusing on the parent chord and its 4. This is another thing, I already touched on this, but it's worth going over again. So what this means is, let's take an A flat, because in A flat the 2/5 is B flat minor 7 to E flat 7. And so E flat 7 is where we put the altered dom. Now, altered dom, what it is it's melodic minor up. This is one way to look at it. It's up 1 fret. So in other words, when we're on E flat 7 or E flat altered dom, that's what we're going to be using. If we go up 1 fret from E flat, it's E. So that means the E flat altered dom is the same scale as E melodic minor. And now melodic minor, the way it lays out on the fretboard, because it's grounded in that minor arpeggio, it's easier to see. It's easier to kind of get under your fingers, sort of, and to see where the licks are, as opposed to if you just think of it as E flat altered, in which case then E flat's the root, and then you have sort of some strange shapes, and they, they come together. But it's definitely easier to spend part of your practice time, at least, when you're practicing altered dom, is to think of its parent scale, which is just up 1 fret. Now, going a step further, though, because we have done that, is the parent scale is E, and then the 4 chord, because in jazz we have 2 5s, so minor 7s are always connected to a dominant 7, a 4th away. So like E minor is connected to A7, and E flat minor is connected to A flat, so we get that, all the 2 5s. D minor is connected to G7, which goes to C, and that's all movement in 4ths. D to G is a 4th, and then G to C. And then if we go another 4th, we come to the 4 chord of that key even. And so, but let's get back to our A flat, E flat, E flat, altered dom. So we want to think E melodic minor. And then, like I said, E minor is connected to A7. So that's another thing we can think of is we'll think of E melodic minor, which is a minor with a major 7. If we add the 7th to the arpeggio, it's going to be a major 7. Minor major 7 is what it's called. So the arpeggio in this position, like where the E flat would be around the 5th fret, 6th fret. This stuff I'll write out. So I'll write out the E minor arpeggio in this area around this E flat chord. Then the E minor, minor major 7 arpeggio in all the, not just starting from E, but covering all the strings. And then we want to take that and see E minor 9. We could do it with the major 7. Then it becomes like an approach note on the E. But see, so you get the D sharp and the F sharp, and that kind of creates an approach note on the E. And then from there, we can go to the whole scale. So we're basing the licks kind of around the arpeggio with approach notes, but we also have a few other tones from the scale, which also act as, they kind of enhance the arpeggio. So I'm not playing anything, just the scale, just the melodic minor scale, no chromatics here. So it's a very colorful sounding scale, and so then we also, leaving the E behind, we can also go to the A7. So on E flat dominant, we can think of the E minor minor major 7, but we can also think of A7 because that's the tritone of E. The tritone of E, which I also covered, is to think of A7. And now in the E melodic minor scale, the A dominant chord is the 4 chord, and the scale around that would be, we have a A major, we can add the 7, so it's A7. But the 4 is sharp, so it's a sharp 11. There's that sharp 11. So we want to take that A7 arpeggio, and we can, or just take the regular A135 and add the tritone to it, the sharp 4. Or we could play the A arpeggio, A7 arpeggio, and add the rest of the scale, which would be Lydian flat 7. Now this is the same scale. This is also E melodic minor. But now we'd be thinking of it as A as the root, which would make it Lydian flat 7. So there's kind of two ways to go. On that E altered dom, E flat rather, we could think of it as E melodic minor, or we could bring in the A7 with the sharp 11. It's like A7 mixo with the sharp 11. And both scales are right out, both arpeggios are right out. So when we practice it, we have B flat minor. So you play something B flat minor, then we're going to go to E melodic minor over the E flat, and then resolve to A flat. Again, B flat, E minor, melodic minor, resolve to A flat major. And then the other choice was to think, we do our B flat minor, and then we go to A7 with the sharp 11 in there, and then resolve to A flat major 7. So those are two things to practice. Now I've also played in the beginning a bunch of 2-5-1 licks. Some of them I used the E melodic minor over the E flat 7, and a few of them I used the A7 or A major with the sharp 11. Either way, I did a little bit of each, so I have those written out so you can have some ideas to work with. And that's helpful to see how it's played, but you know, it's more important that you actually get down. You can even take fragments, like just the top 4 strings, the A major. Stick the G in there so it's A7, and then find the sharp 4. And then when you play your 2-5, you have B right here, B flat minor. Drop down 1 fret. A7 sharp 11, and then resolve 1 more fret to the A flat major 7. Cool. So I have all that stuff written out in the tab. And if you have any questions, let me know. B flat, A7, A flat, resolve to A flat. All right, cool. Any questions, just let me know. And have fun with those 2-5s, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.